Hello, my friends. Welcome to another one of these live streams weekly, every Thursday, 11 a.m. Eastern. I'm here with you guys. Thank you so much for being here as always. Hopefully, you will get something good out of all of these streams, but specifically this one today, I'm excited for because I've had an interesting week. A little bit more agency stuff than normal, I would say, and I'm excited to chat with you guys about it. So if you can see the title of the video and everything like that, we're going to chat about some things that are, again, the main topics. Obviously, if you're new here, what we do here is kind of like every single week. There's a ton happening in this space, so I go over kind of just some of the top highlights of things that I saw, share some links of other great people doing things here, and then I kind of dive into like a bigger topic, and we just have a discussion about it. So this week specifically, it's kind of I had this idea literally an hour and a half ago of like I've had a lot of agency mistakes that I've made and just thoughts and different ways of doing things and approaching things throughout my tenure of building websites, and I just thought I would share that today in this video. So if you're here live, thank you for being here. Drop a comment, see if everything's looking, sounding good. Let me know where you're watching from, and if you're watching on the replay, I will do my best to put some timestamps in here when the announcements end and the actual content that the title says begins. So sweet. Appreciate you guys all being here. Charlie, hello, sir. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you with the video and sound confirmation there. Thank you. Ruben, good morning, sir. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Dope. All right. So I think we're just going to kind of dive into some of these quick announcements here. I have some things pulled up, and we can kind of talk about it real quick, and then we can just dive in to some more of the other stuff that we are wanting to chat about here. And again, as always, if you guys have any questions or thoughts or anything as we go through, don't hesitate to throw it in the chat. Jackson, pleasure as always to see you, brother. Thank you so much for being here. Let me go over to our screen here. So first thing I want to mention is, again, Matt Medeiros, WP Minute, great content as always. Great episode here that I have not watched the entirety of yet, but just from the title and kind of some of the stuff that I've seen, and I talk to Matt all the time, but like protecting content creators from the corporate overlords, that's a great title. I need to continue to watch that, look into that. I feel like I've heard of Doc Pop, but I don't know if I'm misremembering that. But I'm sure this is like I said, I started kind of checking this out. I would highly recommend you guys to all go watch this, especially if you're a content creator. I know that like the audience here generally is like people that are in WordPress, make content, things like that. Always just good conversations coming out of our other confidants in space here and our other colleagues. So super happy to see more good content being churned. Andrew, appreciate you being here. Thank you so much, man. Whoa, super chat from Ruben. What's the link on your OnlyFans again? So I've been trying to keep that a secret, but maybe I don't know if I could. I don't know if I could release that for just 2 USD. I think you might need to. What was the Colombian currency you were giving out that one time, Ruben? I think we're gonna need like a few thousand Colombian, whatever the fuck the Colombian currency is that I can't remember right now. So, but yeah, maybe one day I will release that, but you're gonna have to scour the internet to find that. So sorry about that for today. Conversation for another time. Anyway, the other good thing that we had here this week that was awesome was the WP Toots, Imran, Mark Crawwell, and Jeffrey over at Lightbox. Great series. They kind of did like a precursor to this. I think I talked about it last week, but I watched this whole thing live. It was great. Pesos. Yeah, pesos. Yeah, give me some pesos, dog. No, I'm just kidding. But great series over here that they just started. Was that yesterday? Yeah, and really good stuff. And the thing that I want to just touch on real quick here is the first bit of this, and this is a little bit of a meta. We're gonna dive right into the meta stuff here real quick. The first bit of the conversation there on the WP Creators live stream was kind of more about like actually being a creator and being like a content creator in the space. And again, I don't know the type of audience that I'm attracting. I think it's kind of a mix, but the thing is, like, there are definitely different types of people that are looking for information, right? Like, some people are never going to make videos and they don't care about making videos. They just care about making good, technically sound websites or websites that sell, which is all important. But there's other sides of it where, and the reason I'm bringing this up is because the first beginning of this, I really loved the beginning of of the stream that they were having, because those are four killers in this space of creating content, and they obviously know their shit technically and everything like that. But they were talking about creating content. And I think there was a comment that came up, not sure who said it, but it was a valid comment. It was like, hey, is this a video about making videos? And it's like, it's just an interesting thing that you kind of forget as a content creator. It's like, we're wrapped up in this, and like, we're interested in making better content, but not everyone is interested in making content. It's a real, like I said, it's a real meta point that there's no right or wrong answer. It's just like, that is a very important thing to remember, that some people like only want, because I struggle with this. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. Like, the reason the topic is going to be what it is today is because I'm like, I want to make sure I provide value directly to the people that are out there, like, completely boots on the ground, and like, that is their thing. Like, obviously I'm an agency owner as well, but like, I like having these conversations. I like having those. I like that type of thing, but that's not for everyone. So it's just a different topic conversation. But I really enjoyed the conversation. They talked about kind of a little bit of the state of WordPress, Elementor, different things like that. So I don't know. I'm just looking forward to more of those. So go check that out. Definitely subscribe to those guys if you aren't already somehow. This is a good combo. What do we got here? Daveden going on the dark web for the OnlyFans. Yeah, you gotta be careful. Don't sign up for anything over there. Pesos, yes, pesos. My boy got a new fade this week. Yeah, I did get a haircut. Yesterday. I tried to tell him to keep it short. Obviously, I always have the fade over here, but I tried to keep it a little shorter here because my hair gets unruly so fast. I cannot have the long hair situation in the summer. It is too damn hot. Appreciate you noticing that, Matt. You're my man. Charlie, OnlyFans. I wonder why Mark had so much free time during that. If I actually did OnlyFans, I could probably do this thing like completely full time and have no money. No, I'm just kidding. But haven't considered that. No, even though Ruben would be my number one fan, I guess, over there. But we'll see. Yeah, and that is actually a good point there. Like, joking aside, there, Charlie. I don't know if Rob's here, if he'll catch the replay or whatever. But Rob Cooper, name that I see all the time in the circles, in the chats, and everything like that. Super funny on this. Going back to this stream real quick about WP Toads, Imran, Mark, and Jeff. They he put in there something like, I'm convinced YouTubers like don't have clients because they don't do any work. I think it was in jest, obviously. Rob seems like a great guy. But I'm saying, like, the point is that he put that in there. I was just laughing because it's like, this is so, it's so weird balancing like client work and then like content, and then like if you want to transition from client to content work, because I know so many have. It is a whole thing in and of itself, and it goes back to what I was just saying like 5 seconds ago, where I was like, you can't just talk about the content piece because a lot of people like aren't in that world, and there's like a lot of like overlap, but also a lot of differences in there, and it's a funny story. So yeah, I wish I had even more free time. Maybe OnlyFans is a route. I don't know. We'll look into it. No, I'm just kidding. All right, I'm like Dave. What what I walk into here? You know it's Ruben causing trouble, Brennan. You know it's Ruben. No comment. Yeah, Bricks 1 point. Yeah, so it's actually, thank you, Dobber, for giving a solid comment there. I did just see that as I was scrolling on Facebook. Bricks 1.1 was just announced and released there. I guess it was in beta, right? Now it's full. So I'm excited to see that. I didn't look at the full thing yet there, but we can kind of go over just real quick because that is kind of like a pretty important thing here. What is his? Let me see. Let's go back to our other screen here real quick. Just so we kind of got the full changelog here. I'm not going through all this. I was just looking at the one little thing, new form element. I don't you see. Okay, this is actually going to tie directly into something else that I want to talk about here that goes more into the agency side, which I want to get to quickly because I only have an hour and a half today. but this stuff here, this form element stuff, like, that's cool and that's awesome, and I'm happy that's a thing. But I use WS Form, so I'm not saying they shouldn't keep updating their form element. But my thing is, like, this becomes an issue from a not a collaborative isn't the right word. It's more of like a business decision. And maybe I'll just go right into that because like I mean I do have some other random things that I want to talk about, but you know we're kind of let me just hit on a couple points and then I'll come right back to this because this is important and it all comes together. So a couple things. One, if you haven't seen this dynamic data course, I'm going to plug this literally on every single stream because I think that this is extremely underrated. I'm just going to be completely honest with you. I think it's extremely underrated, and I hope people continue to watch it. And I should probably advertise it more because I think it's a really solid place to start if you're like dealing with dynamic data. And I should do more because I really enjoyed this part of it. So there it is. Share it with your friends. If they don't know what custom post types are, I feel like they need to watch this. So that's the first thing. Second thing is I actually applied, and I don't have the link right now, but I applied to be a speaker at the Jet Engine like agency summit conference thing. Last time I think it was mainly focused on AI. This year it's focused on more of like fast dynamic websites, right up my alley. So I am hoping to give some sort of like I think it's like a pre-recorded talk that they'll air at some point, maybe in like September or something. I don't know, but more details on that. But I'm excited because Jet Engine has always been good to me, and just excited to do more of that stuff. So we will take a look at that. Let me go look at some comments here real quick. Andrew, OnlyFans was originally set up just like YouTube broadcast yourself. It just went the other way. Yeah, I don't. It definitely took a pivot, and good for them making their bag. Max, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. I just watched the official Sharp recap video of the changelog. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to watch the video yet, but I think there's a lot of good stuff. I'm excited for it. New haircut, Max, my man. Max and Matt, they know about the haircut. What's up? Wrong page. Am I on the wrong page? Was I on the wrong 1.1 page? I'll change that if so. CSS framework brought out a direct competitor to Frames this week at a very affordable price. Interesting. See, Core Framework. Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Yeah. Okay, Core Framework. Let's take a look. Is this the wrong? Oh, this is the wrong one. You know what? This doesn't. I don't understand this part either. Yeah. See, I don't understand. Side tangent, and this is probably a. Look at this. Like, I don't understand. I never understood the conventions for naming things. I know this is the wrong page now. Thank you for that, Dover. This is 1.1. And then, I mean, I just searched 1.1. Obviously, it doesn't. I don't know why I thought that would yield something this quickly in Google search. But why is it 1.10 now? That is so confusing. I don't understand why they do that. Anyway, okay, so forget what I said about the form elements, but that stuff still stands. I will come back to that thing. Obviously, it's just not related to the changelog thing. I am really excited. I think I was trying to do some stuff with dynamic data fallbacks specifically recently, and I had to get like a little more creative with it. I'm trying to remember the scenario, but I just can't now. But I was excited for this, more actual like more control over like fallbacks and things like that. Better template management. I'm gonna have to watch the video. I don't like reading. Also, I don't. It's hard. It's hard to actually like know what you're reading when you can't like actually see it too to some degree. But I'm excited. I like more developments, bricks, whoever's developing. I like seeing the products continue to grow. So yeah, what do we got here? Just on these highlights here, individual. I'm really looking forward to components though. I mean, everybody is like, really excited about that. So I hope we continue to move in that direction and get there as fast as possible. Was this right here like when you can put code in like in different like separating the HTML, CSS, JS? Is that in this? Was that like just released here or was that already here? Because that was another thing that I think I didn't have the beta installed or anything. I wasn't playing around with it, and I was like, oh, that would be. I had to put some custom code, and I was like, oh, that would be really cool if I could just drop those in separately. It's not really a big deal, but I don't know, just a random thing. Software naming can get funny. We're currently at Elementor 3.2.3. I don't understand the zero thing. Like, wow, it's a zero, but there was a 1.1. Now there's 1.10. Whatever. Should we go look at the core framework thing real quick? Where can I find that, y'all? I've never used core framework, so I have no idea. What's the actual name of this thing? Let me see. Comments too. Major update 1.1, non-major update 1.1.0. Ah, interesting. No idea. Okay, cool. Yeah, does anybody know what this thing's called? 'Cause, I mean, I'll take a look at it real quick. I probably can't provide any super insight on it. Is it these? Is it any of these UI template things or anything like that? I mean, again, I'm generally all for like more options because that is how you get more competition and then you generally get better shit because of it when you have to compete with other people doing similar things. So, I don't know, just an idea there. But that is a cool concept. Is it built in? I don't know. We'll take a quick one more look at it. Is there like any social media or anything around here that I could see? Code splitting was released in Bricks 1.1. I see I don't have signed code. I'm just updating CSS and JS. Yeah. Okay. Down a bit on this page or the other one. Let's see here. Not seeing it. Software versions aren't about decimals. It's major, minor, patch. Oh, interesting. Did not know that. So if there are 15 minor versions before the next major version, it would be 1.5. That's cool. Love that. Talking about agencies, I only have lifetime license when developing websites for clients, so no payments needed for further. Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, so let's dive into some of this stuff here. Talked about that. My website is going to be launched by. I've been trying to anxiously do it, but I'm busy. So there's going to be more content there. I need to do that by the time I'm going to WCUS. So, which is in almost a little over a month now. So if you guys are going to be there, definitely let me know. Hit me up. I'd love to chat with you while I'm there. Should be a really good time. I'm very excited. It's my first one. But yeah, I need to be ready to do that because I am just all sorts of shit. Going on a podcast later. I don't know if I should tell you guys which one it is because it's a new one I'm excited for, but you'll see it in due time and I'll share it. So that's exciting. And let's dive into some of this agency stuff. Okay, so we can start there with some of that brick stuff and what we just got here. Talking about agencies that only have lifetime licenses when developing websites for clients, so no payments needed for any further. Yes, I mean that's. I don't know. I have a bunch of thoughts here. If you guys want to steer the conversation however you guys like, just let me know, and we can talk about whatever. But I'm just gonna kind of riff on a couple things here, just because again, like it's been the context behind this was that obviously I still do agency stuff. And I enjoy a lot of it, but there's a lot of parts that are just really annoying. There's a lot of parts that I've made mistakes on. And if there's anybody out there that is in, I mean, there's so many different variables here. There's different parts of the world. There's different like stacks that people are using. And I don't know. I've just made some mistakes like this thing said. So I'm trying to like share anything that I can and hopefully it helps. So the first thing I would say, just kind of going off of that, is like, yeah, for any of the agency stuff that I've ever tried, I've tried lifetime licenses. That's a whole sub conversation in and of itself because realistically, I actually would never recommend that a plugin developer really does lifetime licenses unless they're like just starting out and they're trying to get like an influx of cash. In that sense, it does make a good bit of sense. But like longer term, like again, Kevin, I was watching Kevin's stream like yesterday and he was talking about it because he was talking about Etch, which we're all excited for, right? And he was talking about bricks and he like total money he's paid bricks $150, total money that he's made from bricks projects like 7 figures or something. You know what I mean? Like it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense there business wise from the actual software's angle. There are other benefits. I'm not saying that it's just a completely bad idea, I guess. But again, like from a cash flow influx of cash in the beginning, I think there is some merit there. But longer term, you got to make money. Like it's I know we love the cheap stuff and we love like lifetime deals. I love a good lifetime deal. I have a lot of them, but it's would you rather have a lifetime deal or would you rather like have a lifetime deal and potentially have the money management of the product be bad and it go out of business, or would you rather just pay a subscription and hopefully it's like a little bit better? There's no guarantee there either. I'm just saying that I feel like it's more likely if you're it costs money for Bricks to keep having, I'm using Bricks as an example, it's not the only one. It costs money for Bricks to continue to do those types of things. I know they've changed their model now, and I feel like that's just a theme that you see. So that's something I would say. That being said, if you are on the other end of it and you are a consumer and it's a reasonably good plugin and they have used LTDs before and you've gotten one, scooped one, I mean, I'm not saying don't use it. I'm just saying that that is something to be considered of. Everything in business is like a cost benefit analysis, okay? Like there's a lot of different like nuances to it, and there's just a lot of things going on. So there's no right answers for any of it, but that's just a couple things that I would say there on that front. But I like that. Here is one thing that I would say, just again to kind of maybe put a bow on this part, is what I've done is I created a stack that I use for every single project, and I've actually never, I don't think I've ever handed off a website, which there's some other examples that I'll get into here that are very recent that I see agencies do, and I'm just kind of like confused on it to a certain degree. Now, there's definitely times where you have to hand it off, but in the clients that I'm working with, which that's a very important point, it's a very nuanced point, they like don't have a full marketing team that can handle it. They want somebody to be almost their like external like digital marketing team, so to speak, right? And if I could actually put numbers on that, that would be anybody from like a small mom and pop up to, I don't know if there's a number really because every industry is different, but probably like, I don't know. I mean, because you could be doing like $50 million and not really like be turning a ton of profit depending on the industry you're in. But I'd probably say once people get to like maybe like 50 employees, depending on what they're doing, I don't know. It's difficult to tell, but I'm saying there's kind of like different segments of it. Like there's really small businesses, then there's like small business, and there's mid market. Once you get to mid market, they're probably going to start to have some sort of like a, hey, we need a marketing person in here, and we're going to do some of this stuff themselves. If you're not touching those clients, because there's a lot below that, then most of the time what I would lead with is I would say, here's how much it's cost to build the website, and here's how much it costs us monthly to maintain it, to do all the website care plan, things like that. I've been hearing about this website care plan thing for such a long time, since my inception in this industry, and immediately it made sense to me. But I've talked to a lot of people that it didn't make, like it just, that they didn't start with that. And they just started like, I'm going to build your website and you can have it. And in the WordPress space, it's confusing to me that is like that's the default for anybody, because it just doesn't make any sense. It's too complex. It's not like we're building a Webflow website and then saying, here, just pay Webflow $70 a month or whatever. So there's a little bit there that I would say, and just to kind of, like I said, specifically about the comment here is, if that's the approach, then what you need to do is you could do the lifetime type of thing, but I control that licensing, so to speak. Like I have like, for instance, like Jet Engine is an LTD, but like it's my license key in there. Bricks is my license key in there. ACSS is, WS Form. So I control that. That is on a server at GridPane that I control, and they have their website is on their own server at GridPane over there, and I control that. Like we could scale it, we could do whatever we want with it, but it's like theirs. That is like that for the duration of our relationship together, the duration that they're paying us, whatever the amount is per month. We're hosting it, we're doing all these things. I have like a whole stream where I go through kind of like the proposal and everything like that to sell. It's called like selling $10,000 plus websites or some shit. Several months ago on here. And that is, I go through like a whole process of like what I talked about, what I did, everything. And a lot of those details are in there. I mean, I could share it again too at some point or even today. But my point is, like, I like that approach, but I think it goes to like the one of the number one things is like managing expectations and just being the authority in the transaction, not being an asshole, just being like somebody that, like, this, you have to have your protocol, and you have to make sure that the client understands that like you're in charge, like you're the expert. And some people give pushback on that, like, and sometimes I understand it, but again, I'm not telling you to be an asshole. I'm not telling you for the people to be, I'm not telling you to say like the client is like, oh, you're totally wrong, we're doing it this way. They're paying you, you have to do as they wish. But every single time that I have had a situation, like I've had a client and they have like seen me more as like the de facto expert in the relationship, it's gone so much better. Because then you can come in there with the confidence to be like, hey, listen, you're hiring me to build you a website and create you a digital presence, XYZ, whatever, that is going to make you look good in your industry, make you look good to your clients, get you more leads, make you more money. That's the reason you're coming to me, right? And you have to almost like explain that to them. And then hopefully at a certain point they like actually agree with that. Like they internalize that and they're like, okay, we have some ideas, but ultimately if you have suggestions, I've gotten this line in emails. Here's what we want to do, but if you have any feedback or suggestions, they're always welcome and we would love your input, because they understand that you have to create that. It's difficult because you got to be like really confident and kind of know what you're doing. You can't just like, I mean, you could try to just, bullshit your way around it, but you have to actually create that. So that's kind of the big thing that I would say is that's one of the huge, that's like, if I had to say like a hallmark of all these mistakes that I made, that's like the biggest, that's where you kind of start at in a lot of senses. In core framework, under the heading UI template kits, the frames competitors called blocks. Interesting. Okay, we'll go look at that real quick, and then we'll come back to this. What else we got here? I think plugins should have LTD, but support shouldn't. That's a good point, but define support for me. But we pay a premium upfront for LTD. Well, certainly, yeah, I definitely pay a premium. When you say support, though, do you mean updates, or do you mean support? Do you mean like security updates and everything like that? So if you in this case you pay $1,000 for a plugin and you have the plugin for life, do you have that version of the plugin, or do you get all of the updates for life with the LTD? And then support, do you mean just like if you have a problem, then you have to pay for support tickets? And the reason that this is a funny comment to me, not a funny comment, but I'm saying like it's an interesting topic, is because I can count probably on one hand how many times I've reached out to the support of plugins. Like, let me modify that. I've definitely gone into like the WS Forum, for example, Facebook group and talked about things or brought things up, said like, can I do this? Is it possible? If not, can we add it? Something like that. But like I know people that as soon as there's like the slightest fucking problem with anything, they go directly to the support. Like they will immediately email something. Like, and this is, and again, I'm slightly off here, but I'm gonna relate this back to this agency thing. To me, if I'm a business owner and I'm like moving forward and I'm building websites and I want to be like, I can't just, maybe you guys disagree with this. That's totally fine. I can't just run to the support as soon as there's a problem. I have to understand the tools. Like I have to understand like what happened here. Do like at least the minimal amount of diagnosis. And I'm not like saying that this is like a bad thing if you necessarily go there, but I'm just saying my mentality is I want to try to fix it. Like maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just my personality. It's like I want to try to fix it. I'm not going to like dive deep if there's like some sort of like obvious bug in this code, but I'm saying that if there's something wrong, because here's the thing, okay? Here's the thing. If I go to support for anything, this is outside of WordPress, what are they going to tell me to do? They're going to tell me fucking disable all the plugins. They're going to tell me to like try to make sure it's updated. They're going to give me like 6 things that are like all the same shit that I would have just tried. You know what I mean? So it's like I have to at least exhaust those types of options and kind of see like, is it a problem with like a compatibility issue? Is it an actual bug? Is it something that I configured incorrectly? Have I exhausted all of those things and then go there? And again, if you love going to support, honestly, you're probably better than me in some ways because you're probably just saving yourself a ton of time if they can just fix it. But I'm just saying, like, when it comes to things, especially like hosting in that realm, I feel like if you're hosting clients' websites, like you definitely want to make sure. I just don't feel comfortable relying on the support of like directly of the hosting company. Like I need to like at least be somewhat empowered to know what's going on there, so to speak, and like what could actually be the problems before I just like rely on like the support. Because a lot of times I feel like, depending on who it is, what company it is, plugin hosting, whatever, a lot of times if you know what the common problems could be, you might be able to fix it faster than the support people. Obviously, that's not always the case, but just a thought on that. But yeah, let me hear more about that because I'm interested in the conversation. LTDs are awesome as long as the founder knows how to keep his project sustainable. I have a whole folder of full dead LTDs. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. It's like you just don't want them to go to the graveyard there. Same one there, and then why should a website owner depend why should a website owner depend on my agency's life? If I sell them a website, it should be theirs and upselling them. It should be theirs and upselling them on a care plan. Are you saying you shouldn't upsell them on a care plan? Why should a website owner's agency depend on my agency's life? If I sell them a website, it should be theirs and upselling them on a care plan. Um, I mean, there's probably a million ways to kind of go about that. I would say, like, I don't really feel like I'm upselling them on a care plan. I feel like, do you think that, like, a client knows more about hosting and knows more about the upkeep of WordPress than you do? If you think that, then maybe they should do it. But if I think in most cases, my agency knows more about websites, knows more about digital marketing, knows more about hosting a website than the client does, and knows more about updating WordPress. I mean, we're in this stuff all the time, right? So that's the reason that I kind of go that approach. If you don't think that, or if you have a client that has like a full team and they say, hey, we want to just like go do this. I just saw a post. I don't know what group it was in, but it was a post, and it was like a screenshot of like an email from somebody, like, to a client, and it was like something like, roughly, I'm super paraphrasing. It's like, hey, we got a marketing manager. Can you give us admin credentials or something? And then the comments are all like, yep, you're fucked. Like, they're gonna go in there and they're gonna play around, and then in 2 weeks they're gonna be like, yeah, we don't need you anymore, and we got it from here. And if that actually works, that's fine. I'm not telling people. I never lock anybody in. I never own anybody's domain names. I never put anybody on a long-term care plan. It's always month to month. Cancel whenever you want. I never do anything like that. And I'll tell you why. Because I don't fucking actually want to do business with people that don't want to do business with me. Like, that doesn't make any sense in my brain. So whenever I stop providing value for them is when I think they should actually cancel with me. And I think that most of the time that doesn't actually happen. What actually happens is they think that, like, they can potentially do it better. And it's not just me. I think it's a lot of people. They think that they could do it better. They think they could do it cheaper. They think that, like, we're not actually doing a lot of work. And I just think that if you're not actually providing the longer term value, one, you might be losing money. Like, you might be leaving money on the table, which isn't always a bad thing, because it is a lot more stress. Potentially, it's a lot more work, but you can make more money from it. So if you are just building websites and handing them off and it's working, don't fucking change anything. But if you think that you can provide more value and get recurring revenue from that, and sell them on a care plan, and I don't think it's upselling whatsoever. I'm not telling you to, like, sell them a bunch of shit that they don't need. I'm telling you, like, you could sell like $150 care plan. I mean, again, it might be different in different parts of the world. Okay. But you could sell them $100, $150, $200, $300 care plan that has like hosting and a bunch of other things in there. I mean, just again, the problem with WordPress, and we talk about this all the time, is if we're specifically talking about WordPress, there's too many damn things that can be put together and can go wrong. You need somebody in this ecosystem that knows how the fucking pieces fit together. If you don't, then I really think that you're kind of screwed, like, as a business owner, because you or your marketing team could mess it up so fast. Think of, like, okay, I'm not trying to rant like too much on this, but think about in WordPress, even if you don't touch the thing, it breaks. It can break. Have you ever thought about that? Not only do you have to be like, not only can you break it by doing things, you can also break it by not doing things. No other platform is like that. No other, like, you can't go to Webflow and like make a website, and then in 6 years, like, it'll probably still be there. As long as Webflow's around, it's probably still going to be there. With WordPress, like, think about all the times in the past when, like, WordPress has just auto-updated or has not auto-updated or whatever, and it just breaks. So what I'm saying is, like, that's the reason for a care plan. That's the reason for those types of things, in my opinion. So yeah, but I appreciate that. I like that perspective. Customer support, I think we were talking about that for the LTD stuff and everything like that. I've heard some really interesting takes on that. I've heard interesting takes of, like, LTD, like, being like a price, and then a customer support being like $5 a ticket or something. I think that's a great model. If I had a plugin, maybe I would go that route. But still, though, you have to pay the developers to continue to update the plugin. So if you're paying the developers to update the plugin, Where's that money coming from? I mean, yeah, sure, maybe it's coming from the LTDs, but we literally just have to do a math problem to solve that. Like for all that, like how many expected users. I mean, you could even do a case study. You could do a case study on like a Bricks or something. Like how many users, what's the average LTD that they paid for, how much does a developer cost, how many developers are there. Just work out those numbers. Hopefully it's good. Again, Bricks is just the example, not picking on it. I've submitted bug reports, but only spoken with support for plugin a few times. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, if there is a problem, you gotta get it fixed for sure. But 100%. Am I getting duplicate? I think I'm getting duplicate things here somehow. Also, if that's the case, let me open up YouTube just in case I'm not missing stuff, because this restream does some weird stuff sometimes. Bear with me for a moment here. Pause that. Okay. Okay, I think we're good here. Okay, I meant that I've spoken with Dynamic OO support a lot. Yeah. New customers are paying for development. Okay, are you saying like are we back on the plugin topic here? New customers are paying for development. Let me pop this out here real quick too. I don't know. I don't know the numbers of every plugin that offers an LTD, but I would be interested to know those numbers, because I don't know how you could possibly like constantly sustain all of the new development with just LTDs. But perhaps, definitely possible. All right, let's see here what I got. Brennan, I just wonder how these plugin companies pull it all together. It's one thing to have money for dev, but what about marketing? Does Bricks run ads to try to get new users, for example? No. Yeah, I mean, Bricks is a good example because obviously there's a ton of creators, KG at the kind of the top of that. It would be really, I mean, again, with just Bricks specifically, it'd be really interesting to know where their new user basis came from. It'd be interesting to know like how, like if you could somehow have these numbers, which you can't entirely because they don't have the affiliate program, because that's one way to know. It'd be interesting to know how many people have gone through Bricks' channels or through ads for Bricks or anything, because I've never seen one, I don't know, versus how many have gone through like Brendan's videos or through Kevin's videos, through Dave Foy's videos, and just to kind of see the numbers. Again, I'm not trying to like whatever. It'd be nice if they had an affiliate program, cool, but I'm saying like regardless of that, has nothing to do with the actual like creators, so to speak. It has something to do with the business model of Bricks as an example, or the plugins, or any plugin in general. I would want to know as a business where my customers are coming from. That simple, right? And then like Brendan's point there, it's like if that's the case, then it's awesome that you don't really have to like pay for marketing in a sense, right? It's awesome that you don't have to like think of all like the potential, like one way you can frame is like the free marketing that they've gotten from a ton of YouTubers. Now, I think the product deserves it, but it's still free marketing. So then how do you, if for some reason that would kind of like plateau, how do you, where is like do the numbers work out where they could start actually paying for marketing as well? Something to consider. Dave in here. Yeah, Breakdance has tons of funds for marketing from somewhere. Maybe Ruben he just has insider scoop. Yeah, Ruben, let us know, dude. He's in there, dude. He's in there like swimwear. I'm interested to know what you get for $1,000 per month for website support. I hope this is okay to ask. Are you asking me specifically that? Because I definitely didn't. I don't think I said $1,000 a month. Transparently, I think really depends on who you're talking to. It really depends on where you're at. I've never charged $1,000 for support, but I could absolutely charge $1,000 for support if I created the right plan. A sweet spot for me, we can go in that for a second, but a sweet spot for me is like kind of like between 150 and 300 a month. And the thing is like that includes all of the plugin licenses, that includes like uptime monitoring, security, like all those types of things. But there's a piece in there that like I think I talk about this in that other video, but the thing with me is like, okay, here's an actual, I know we've talked about a lot of different stuff here, which I appreciate all you guys, like, but it all kind of relates, right? I'll try to like mark this, right? Like this is an actual mistake that I've made, or a potential like way that you could think about something if you're struggling. I was not struggling to sell website care plans, but I was struggling with the concept of making it feel like an ROI positive thing for the business. I think like they were, I don't know if it ever got verbalized. Maybe it was just all me like thinking it, but I always felt like the client wasn't necessarily feeling, they were a little bit hesitant. They did it, but they were a little bit hesitant. And I totally understand it because everything in a website care plan traditionally is totally fucking abstract. And there's like no actual, they know that their website is up, but until their website goes down or you have to like do something in that realm, there's nothing to it. Now there's two ways that I know to make it more tangible. The first way I don't really like, and that is to include like time in it. So like, okay, we'll do like 30 minutes of time, or we'll do 60 minutes of time if you're doing like some sort of tiered thing, or we'll do a number of tasks. I really hate that because you get so, first of all, it's very commoditized, which I don't like in general, but it's too vague. The time thing is better than the task thing because you could have like tasks that are ridiculous, like and you I have 6 tasks and they all take 6 hours each. So like you have to be really, you just have to get way more specific, and I don't like any of that. The time thing, I'm just not really a big like advocate of like selling time and like trying to put a number on your time. There's definitely times that it works, but it's just rough. The other way is that I try to do and started to do, and it's working better. Your website care plan is necessary for WordPress, the way that WordPress is set up, the way that I just talked about and everything like that. So you have that. There's a line item in that though that is like something like a monthly, and I've seen other people do this, but like monthly or quarterly strategy call or recap call. I like a recap call. So here's a free idea for you. If you're selling these care plans, you do a monthly recap call. Beginning of every month, first week of every month, you hop on a call with your client. They're paying you, again, we'll just put a $300 price tag on it. $300 a month, you're taking care of all the shit that like we know that you have to take care of. Plus they get this. Half an hour every month, you hop on a call with them. All you're doing on that call, we're not talking about SEO or anything like that. We're tracking that info, but we're not doing anything actively. Okay, we're not doing any of that work. That work is expensive and it's time consuming. You're not doing any of that work. You're talking about the numbers. You're talking about the analytics numbers. Maybe you're talking about Google business numbers. You're just talking about the data. You don't have to do anything to gather that data. You literally just pull some reports or whatever 5 minutes before the call. You hop on the call and you talk about the numbers, okay? You ask them how their business went that month from their business side, okay? This is where you start to be more of a business consultant and a digital strategist rather than a pixel pushing website developer, okay? So you actually have to provide the ROI positive value with something like this. You're on that call and you're talking to them like a human to human person, not like a random person that's just like deving stuff, okay? And this is difficult and it's not for everybody, but it's important. So you're talking to them with an actual business mind to business mind. And you're saying to them, you're not selling them, you're saying like, hey, I think if we did this, this, and this, you could be really good. Or like you take what they say to you, you say, hey, we had a kind of a slow month this month. Maybe we saw some opportunities here. And we also have like some things going on that we'd love to make, maybe more content for or more pages for or whatever. You translate that into a mini proposal, like a mini project that you can then say, hey, we'll do all that for you this coming month. Obviously, you're still paying the recurring and everything, but we'll do that this coming month. Here's a little proposal for $800, $1,200, $1,500 or whatever. And you're going to do that work for them. And if it takes less than a month, then you come back on the next call and like, boom, you have that. We can get into the billing and all that sort of other logistical stuff. But I'm saying that's the purpose of that call. It is a recap of what you did, and that is kind of like potentially an opportunity to sell more stuff to them, depending on what happened and what they feel like they need or what you think that they need. And if they say no to any of the stuff, then fine. You don't have to do the stuff. You don't get paid for it. You don't have to do it. It's totally fine. But that is how you actually create a relationship with people. All these fucking people that say, hey, we want to create relationships with our clients, and then they never talk to them about their business whatsoever is mind-numbing. It's like, yeah, I'll just keep feeding me $200 a month and I'm not doing anything. I can't do that. Like, it doesn't make sense in my head. I'm just going to sit here every month and this money is going to come in and I'm going to be like, these people are going to cancel because they don't, and I'm not saying this is exactly like it every time. It depends on the numbers and who you're talking to and what they care and what they value. But most people in this industry are just setting websites up and then they don't actually like, they don't treat them like a growing thing, like a living thing, like more content or more different dynamic features or functionality or pages or whatever. And it's like, you know how to do this stuff. And if you have a business sense to you, utilize that in their business, and then you actually become way more valuable to them, and you can charge more money, and you can just make more money from like different little things that you can do for them. It's just that's my approach. Big long tangent there. What do we got here on the comments? So yeah, we're talking about the $1,000 thing. So I mean, to wrap that up though, I don't like $1,000 is possible, but I mean, you're gonna have to probably. I mean, $1,000 is possible if somebody wants to pay $1,000. I'll sell $1,000 to somebody if they want to pay $1,000 for whatever. But in my mind, where I'm at, you need to provide a little bit more value, and I would say that like that borders into either consulting or more like maybe like more of a, to a degree, like slightly more into like analytical SEO type land, depending on what you're doing. Straight up support for like backups and shit. I don't know if you can really get that much. Maybe, depends. 100% of the new users come from word of mouth, I imagine. Question: I'm interested to know what you get for $1,000 per website for yeah. Guess so. We answered that one. Tell me if that answered your question, Charlie, or not. Most pieces are there for the GUI to make editing easier. It's in case goes static. Use WordPress for the convenience and specific interactivity from the plugins or CMS the client wants. Let me move this over because I can't see anything here. I'm still sometimes baffled that we moved Dreamweaver to the server, calling it a page builder. I understand content, but building. I never even used Dreamweaver. Maybe I should go back and try it. I think you're a rare species than most. There are people that spin up WordPress for a single, simple landing page because they can't load hand code that. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely, I feel like that's definitely a lot of people. I mean, it's like, let's just do it. Let's just do WordPress real simple, everything like that. You can check out the admin bars. Yeah, I've seen that. The WOM. Yep, I've seen that. It's good resource. You can essentially have editing software replicated across all your clients, and you're now a system administrator trying to keep the Windows in your company up to date. Okay. Max, you always say shit that goes way over my head, man. I highly admire your level of intellect here. You essentially have an... Okay. Why are these coming in twice? I don't know what's going on. Part one, just joining, but it sounds like you're missing something. The beginning of Bricks had almost no marketing. It felt more like grassroots movement at first. It now enjoys tons of positive social media because it is an example of how to do it right in so many ways. Yeah, I mean, 100%. Yeah, I think you have to have a good product in order for people to market it organically. And I think that Bricks is a great example of that. And hopefully it just continues to do that. I don't know if you can do that forever, but if you can, that's a hell of a business model. Sorry for calling you Matt. It's all good. It's all good. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. That's my evil twin. All good. I appreciate you. I appreciate you watching and bringing that up in general. Thank you so much. Brendan O'Connell, you don't need to hand code, use local software and SaaS to deploy page. I mean, yeah, I would say Max, I would just say that like, I think it's just, I don't even know. I mean, I'm not a dev, but like, I don't even, it's a whole different conversation. I just think people like think that like GUI stuff is just simpler. And it's not even like, I know it's not coding per se. It's just like, I don't know. It's crazy. It's a lot of, I don't know, mumbo jumbo. I feel like that is like really powerful, but like, I feel like you just got to dig in. But it's a larger conversation we talk about all the time. It's like everything is getting more abstracted and more encapsulated. And that is just like changing like the fine fundamental mindset and the inner workings of like people like on all levels, not just specifically building websites. And it's like it's a weird thing that is created. It's a weird like mindset and almost like societal thought that like it's created. And I just don't know if people want to like explore as much. Some do for sure. I don't know. That was hilarious. 100%. I meant more people who are only really no SaaS code builders, hand coding, and thus Hammer. Yeah, Hammer, everything's a nail, 100%. Hey, Felix. Recently found your channel, finding lots of value. Hey, appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, WordPress is bubble, 100%. Late to the show, Derek. Appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. I'm busy building a client portal on Mona. It's a data repository site, and your setup has tutorial I've found so valuable. Yeah, 100%. Appreciate you. Yeah, I mean, if there's anything specific that you want, I mean, I'm still in the market of doing more portal videos. I haven't done a ton recently, but I just kind of like stopped mine because I didn't want to make it like, I stopped documenting it because I didn't want to make it super specific. But if there's specific things or functionalities that's troubling, just, I don't know, shoot me a message or something, or leave a comment, and I'll try to put. I want to put smaller videos together for it from now on, because I think that there's just too many. There's too many different routes I can go, and I'd like to be more catered to like what people are looking for. Because I love the long form content, as everyone knows, but it's hard to like get, there's value there, but you have to watch the whole thing. It's like some things might not be applicable. So I want to mix in some smaller stuff. I think that would be better. D123 Dream River was awesome. That's those that bashed were not there. I wasn't there, and I'm not going to bash it. I'm going to assume you guys are 100% right. I loved using Dreamweaver and Fireworks. Fireworks, interesting. I asked because Find a Text says website support is $1,000 per month. Did I is that written there right now? Honest to God, I have not touched this website in a long time. It's built with Elementor. I'm looking on the other screen here. Oh, I see. Okay. I do have that written there. That is, yeah, and then if you click website support, it goes to a page that's not active right now. Well, I'll bring it up here. Yeah, I'm not proud of this website right now, so, because it's gone through multiple iterations. So what Charlie's talking about here is if you scroll down, you go down to like these. Like I kind of like say this, and like this is, again, this was probably written on here almost 2 years ago at this point. So I would not take this as an example. I'm genuinely not proud of where this website is at right now. So I literally don't know what else to say about that. But like the concepts here, there's certain concepts that I could take away, and I would recommend to like continue. I'll give you a brief history, like really brief. At one point, I was going to do, and this was coming off of everything that I'm talking about here. But at one point, I was trying to say, this concept of like, I have this issue. This issue in my mind is that I don't feel like I'm providing enough like ROI positive recurring value to people for them to assimilate like recurring money equals positive ROI for their business. So the website development and everything like that, we could talk about that, but that's outside of the recurring thing, right? Like you can build a website. You could probably build the same website depending on who you are for $1,000 or $20,000. There is no science to that. I would tell you to charge more because you're probably going to find more shit than you thought. It's happened to me every single time. I just tweeted the other day. Every single time I finish a website, I think I should have charged twice as much. So there's just a lot. There's a lot there to unpack. Specifically with the support thing, I don't even know why this says 1,000 here, because if you click over to like website support, I don't know what I was thinking. It says 250 over here. So again, the website just is shit. Sorry, but to give you the context on this, development, support, and growth. My thought process there was development is building the website. Like for if you engage in a development thing, then you're gonna get the website. Then we're gonna sell you support, because we do think that you absolutely need that. If you don't want it, then we'll figure out a way to hand it off, whatever. But that never happened for me. So then we're going to sell you support, and support is going to be the bare minimum that you need in order to have your website continue to function, all that sort of stuff. You know, like a website care plan. I named shit differently because I was an asshole. I don't know. Then the third thing is growth, and growth is where you really start to like separate yourself in a way, because you're not just building and maintaining, you're actually trying to actively grow. And then growth would be something more like a like an SEO or a pay-per-click or something. I don't even know what's on this page. There's probably nothing on this page. Yeah, like you're starting to implement like Hotjar and things like that, or like you're like actually taking a much deeper dive into their website and the things that they're doing. I'll be completely candid with you guys. What is this? This is a large agency, and I know one of the co-founders like pretty well. And I would highly recommend you guys, if you, I don't know what level you're trying to get to or whatever, but like I learned so much from the guys over at Humor and just the way that they sell stuff, the way that their business is organized and everything. And there's kind of there's definitely a I took inspiration from that, where it's like, you're building, you're supporting, and you're growing. So I don't know. I'm just trying to give you guys more things to look at. I'm not the end all be all by any means of any of this information. I'm just a dude that likes to learn, try, and share this stuff. So I would take everything that I say with a grain of salt, and just kind of continue to build your own thing, because that's what I do from everyone else. But yeah, so that's a great question there. I didn't even know it said that. I should change that. But like I said, I have a staging site right now, and it's just not done. So yeah. But I appreciate that. That always, I'm open to any question, especially the OnlyFans questions from Ruben. I'm always happy to hear that. It's ridiculous. What do we got here? Comments come in twice if they were deleted on YouTube. They are not deleted on your side. Oh, really? Interesting. I'm in like Restream over here, and like that's weird. The Bricks business model is changing LTDs. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, we mentioned that earlier. They I like I mean, again, I think LTDs make sense like at certain points, especially in the beginning, to get the cash flow. But I don't know. It could work. I don't know. I've never fucking had an LTD, but it is what it is. Let's see what we got here. I missed the static talk. I wish there was just a HTML and CSS only static builder. Is that what we're talking about? That I'm gonna have to defer to Max Zybel on that one. All right, Dave Dunn, yes, DW and Evans, fantastic. Yep, back in the day, was not there. Sure was a great time. SureCart has some interesting customer portal dashboard stuff in the works, like e-commerce membership sites. I think it is a unique skill to offer that as a service. Yeah, 100%. I mean, I've been traditionally WooCommerce guy. I know Adam's doing a great job over there at SureCart. I did that one live stream where we were talking about SureCart. Looked at NorthCommerce too. Again, I think it's important that we continue to have more options, more competition. Hopefully it drives everybody up and we all continue to get more value. And I think that with SureCart specifically, like for specifically for the portal thing, it's like what happened to me was I built that portal at least 2 years ago at this point. And at that point, there was some other portal options like client portal, like plugins, but it just didn't do anything that I needed it to do. And then around that time, or earlier than that time, but I found about like when I knew about custom post types and knew about e-commerce, I was like, I'm building this thing myself because and I just posed this question about like building a community website, and I'm super mixed on that, but I think that a community website might make more sense because there's other SaaS that are doing really, really good job. But the thing with that is, and the kind of the difference there is that at that time specifically, that taught me so much. So if you're like newer to e-commerce and newer to portal stuff, I always like the idea of like trying to practice a little bit on myself so I could go into a client conversation and be like a little bit more confident. And that just helped me a lot. But I'm super excited that SureCart's building that type of stuff in there. Hopefully all these products continue to listen to the creators and the people that are in the communities and make cool shit. So yeah. Max, after your comment yesterday, I made an automation to check following counts and reported suspected bots that follow me doing their show. I like that. That is amazing. Brendan is always doing cool shit. Make sure you guys are all subscribed to him. Yeah, I was using Dreamweaver as an example as a local page builder. Now it's normal to replicate your builder software across your products, adding software management dimension. Interesting. Can someone please help me rebrand my website for free? Gonna be a tough sell for free there, Davidson. But yeah. Oh, the man, the myth, the legend. KG. Appreciate you being here, dog. Thank you so much. Eric Hansen, SureCart is the beginning, but a great start. I'm using it, waiting for V3 to drop. Yeah. Again, SureCart. We'll see what happens if it takes over the WooCommerce game. Good morning, Kevin Gear. We got here. Mark Smith. Are you getting customers through your website or just OnlyFans? I mean, honest to God, most of it comes from my OnlyFans. Yeah. Just kidding. Honestly, serious answer to that question is I would probably say that the method that I like the most is partnering with similar vertical people, similar vertical like industries. So for instance, like IT, that don't do websites, or sometimes think they can do websites, but they can't do websites because that's just not what they're best at. And instead of them building like, subpar like Wix or Squarespace sites for the clients that they're already managing the emails and shit for, instead of that, you go to them and you say, hey, I will, here's what we'll do, IT provider. I will give you 10% for the first entire, make up your terms, but I'll give you 10%. If you give me John Doe over here, your client that you do IT for, and they want a website, if you give me John Doe as a client and I close them and I make money on them, I will give you 10% of all the money that I make off of them for the first 365 days of my engagement with them. And that has worked way better for me because everyone wins. I don't know why people don't like the affiliate model sometimes when it's done properly and not like sleazily in any sort of way. Like, we're not talking like any sort of like MLM shit or anything like that. People get real weird when you hear like the words affiliate marketing. I don't understand why, because in a case like that, every party wins. Like, the IT people don't have to do something that they're bad at, which would give the client a terrible service and a terrible experience and a terrible result. They get paid because they should get paid, because I didn't know John Doe before the IT person told me about him. I'm not in the business of like I don't like the idea of giving away like free leads or like getting free leads from people. I feel like now I'm indebted, and I don't want to do that. It's like I could get 10 leads from them and I could never give them any just because. And then I don't like that. People love that for some reason and thing. It's like, this is way cleaner. I have no problem giving you the money. Plus, if you are on the opposite, okay, right? If you hear that and you're like, Mark, I don't want to give 10% of my money away. First of all, you're probably not charging enough. Second of all, I don't want to give 10% of my thing away, and make up whatever percentage you want, but that's just the standard. I don't want to give 10% away. Dude, you wouldn't have any of that money if you didn't get that lead from them. Like, I don't get it. And again, I'm not saying that you should fully rely on that method. You should yearn for like completely organic free leads. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do that. I'm not saying like your website shouldn't be your lead aggregator. I'm just saying that way is easier in a sense because it's so warm. Like, it's literally a referral that they like, oh, we really trust Find a Tech, or we really trust whoever. We're going to, we already do work with John Doe. Here's Find a Tech. They do really good websites. Boom. It's got to be a good match. It's got to make sense. You got to like really vet. You're kind of like training those affiliates to be kind of your external sales team. I like to say, you have to make sure that they know what the conversation is going to be about. You can't just jump into this and be like, hey, we'll give you 10%. Just send us anybody. I mean, obviously you're not going to pay anything unless you're getting paid anyway. But my point is, like, you don't want to waste time. You don't want to like be like, hey, yeah, send us like anybody that wants like a $6 website. That can't be the case either. So you got to do a little bit of like due diligence there. But that is if you're struggling and you don't want to get in front of a fucking camera and talk, or you don't want to like write blogs, or you don't want to like do other stuff to build up your personal brand or your actual brand, you have to do something like that to at least start off. And it's super warm. Yeah. And then, but other than that, while you're doing that, when you set that up, okay, when you're doing the other stuff, get in front of a camera, just literally make videos. Everyone, like, there's so many content creators now that are doing this, and it's working for everyone. Like, just make videos, show your face if you can. Don't be afraid. As long as you're like being genuine, authentic, and you're trying to provide value for some people are not going to like it. Not everybody's going to watch. Doesn't matter. How many clients do you really need? Like, do you need to do business with 7 billion people? No, you need to do business with like probably like 1,000. Like, I mean, think how good your life would be if you got like that small of a percentage of people. That just finding those people. It's not easy, but I love this stuff. Like, I love talking about like personal branding. Just like, it's not easy, but it's like straightforward and simple in a lot of ways. So there's nuance to it, but yeah. Off the soapbox again. Back to the comments. Where are we at? Hey y'all, Hans, appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Never heard of SureCart. Yeah, not SureCard, but yeah. Is it customizable as Woo? How big is the plugin / script ecosystem so far? I'll let you guys answer that in the comments. What's Brent saying here? SureCart is from the Brainstorm Force team, so they have all Sure products, Astra, Spectra, millions of websites using it. Yeah, I mean, the only thing I would say, just from my experience, probably less than some of you guys in here, is just, I think that Woo, people hate Woo for reasons that like I just maybe have never stumbled upon. But Woo is definitely, I would say, like a bigger ecosystem just because it's bigger, longer, automatic. It was the only thing for a long time, the only good thing, I guess, for a long time. Uh, but SureCard is definitely a worthy adversary and growing quickly. And I'm 100% sure that you can try SureCard for free. I definitely did, right? Like a couple months ago. So I would definitely give it a look if you have any time, just to kind of see. But again, I'm gonna make another random point here, another random mistake. I don't know how I'm probably never gonna be able to do all these chapters in here. But another random mistake that I would say, or just like a thought process mindset, is like great example right here. If you have like if you're thinking about moving to something, you have to do the cost benefit analysis of like what that's gonna be. So like if you have the time right now to like go play with SureCard as an example, it's just the example that's coming out, then go do that. But also realize like is what you're doing broken or is it not broken? I'll use me as an example. I was using Elementor for years, okay? And at least two times, my stack fundamentally failed me because of the way that because I was limited by the knowledge and the tooling that I had. The one time was back when Elementor, you couldn't do any sort of like custom cards. You could had like three options of cards. So I was like, well, what the hell am I going to do here? I don't want it to just be like a little post thing or like an inline or like a full content or whatever the hell the things were. So I was like, let me download this thing called Ellie Custom Skin. That was some random third-party thing. Worked great. I mean, okay, but it was a random third-party plugin. So I downloaded that and that helped for a while. And then I was like, well, that worked for a while, and then I needed to do nested loops, and I was like, well, shit, I can't do that in here. What am I going to do now? So I literally went to Reddit, and some great knowledgeable person that has done this before me told me, oh, Jet Engine is a great thing. You can do like listing items, and you can do your own listing query and all that sort of stuff, whatever, and you can nest stuff. I was like, let me give it a shot. I bought the Jet Engine LTD for like $900 or whatever it was, and it ended up being a great purchase. It was really cool. It's so much more Crockablock and everything. It's so much more than just that. It's there's other a suite of plugins, but that's what got me over that hump. Okay, and then the next thing was I was having trouble because now at that point with the specific website that kind of like caused a lot of this. It's ridiculous. It's got BuddyBoss, LearnDash, WooCommerce subscriptions, WooCommerce memberships. I mean, if you know anything, you're having an aneurysm right now. And then I was like, what the hell am I going to do moving forward? Because there's no way that I could build websites this scale ever again if I'm going to do any more of this, and even smaller websites. But there's no way at that point, and that was probably it was the beginning of this year. It was like a year ago. I was like, there's no way I can do this. And then that's when I fell into like the bricks. Like I saw bricks, I saw other things and stuff. Kevin Geary, so many other people. I found that. And I was like, that is the next kind of iteration. So I know there's a long, windy story there. But to me, the mistakes of like building websites and stuff like that are you always have to be doing a cost benefit analysis of like, is it broken? Is it going to limit you in the future? What are the better alternatives? But you can't do that every 5 seconds, because if you do that every 5 seconds, then like you're never going to get anything done. You're never going to have the stability. So you have to like do a lot of research and then do it, and then like be like, okay, we're going to nail this. We're going to nail this stack. We're going to use it as much as we can. So you feel like some level of comfort for some period of time. There's like a weird middle ground there. You know what I mean? And quite frankly, like that is why I feel like people have not moved from the places that they've been. Like, we talk about Elementor. I mean, they're the OGs of this stuff, right? Like we could say whatever we want about them, but they're the OGs. And if you started back there and you're comfortable there, it makes sense that like they don't move. I'm not saying they shouldn't, best, worst, whatever. I'm just saying like that's the reason. And if we're talking about again that kind of the mistakes of it, that's one of the things that I would say are you have to be cognizant of what you're actually building, what you're putting in front of your clients, what you're constructing for them, and what your business is actually predicated and founded on. You don't want this like, you don't want to keep, you always have to like, there's like this season, I think it was like Sam Ovens one time I watched a video where it's like chaos and then you kind of have to like reel it back in. You have to go through that. You have to like try a bunch of stuff and then you got to be like, okay, we're going to try to like fix the stuff now. I'm butchering that, whatever that methodology is, but I'm saying like you can't just always be trying a bunch of different stuff and never doing anything, and you can't always just be like totally rigid in what you're doing. There's kind of like a yin and yang thing, so to speak, there, I feel like. All right. Comments. Appreciate you guys so much. I love the idea of partnering. I think it's great. I think it's definitely something to do there. It's an approach. Try it out. Maybe it works. Maybe it doesn't. Companies should be spending 0 to 12% or 8 to 12% of their revenue on marketing anyway. You can put that money into ads, or you can just pay it directly into referral. Yeah, I mean, there's a million ways to market. Again, I think Kevin, you would agree with this. Like, it's best to kind of like market yourself, so to speak, or market your business, but like market it directly in that regard. But that organic marketing takes a lot of time. It takes a long time, depending on who you are and how good you are, at like building trust with people, building that rapport, and then also getting that to spill into the actual work that you do. If you're trying to market a business, and many people have done it very well, right? But that does take time. You got to be doing that. But like in the interim, like it's people are asking about leads and stuff. It's like you just make friends with one person. Make friends with one business, like an IT provider or something like that, and then kind of go that route. It's an approach. If you don't, and I'll say this too, there's no the risk. Think about the risk of that marketing. The risk is so low. How long would it take you to maybe have that conversation or draft something up quickly that would like actually at least potentially get that? You could send it to them like maybe 4 people, maybe you get one of them. Like the risk is so long because it's not like you're saying, hey, I'm gonna pay you up front to be like a referral, or they're gonna pay me up front to be a referral. Like it's just if it works. It's just if it works. You do not pay anything unless you get paid. So then it comes into the conversation of like making sure you're actually the pricing and everything like that is good. But that's I mean, you're gonna have to cross that bridge anyway. You know what I mean? So yeah, you have to be understanding that you got to be putting at minimum time, most likely money, into the driving of marketing yourself, your business, what you're having to do, if you want to continue to move forward like that. It is getting hot in here with this light on. Goddamn. That 10% is your marketing spend. Yeah. Yeah. And again, play with the numbers. Do whatever you want. If you can get somebody to do it for 5%, I mean, I don't know. How do you develop relationships with IT folks? Well, I mean, it helps if you have like past situations too. And I'll talk about this for a quick second. I mean, it could be anybody. Like transparently, like the like some of the providers that I have, like an IT one, for instance, like I knew from a previous job that I worked at for 3 years, like out of college. Like I just knew them, and then that's how it happened. So maybe you do have that, maybe you don't have that, but I will say, personal experience anecdote here. What everything that I'm doing here, what you see, okay, the meta of what you see here is what this has taught me is that you have to be like being out there is like obnoxiously, it's like unfair. It's like unfair when you just like start talking or start typing, whatever you want to do, because you just people will just start like, you have to be saying like things and be genuine, but like people will just kind of start to like a little bit like more like not flock, but they will just what happened to my camera? I was riffing. What happened to my camera? Can you guys still hear me? God damn it. Hang on a second. Let me fix my camera. It's damn cam link. People can't see you if your camera breaks. What the fuck, man? That's tough. Pause for technical difficulties. It didn't like what I was saying. Pause. Is it too hot? What happened to it? Oh man, this is the shitty part about having not like a webcam. Let me get this little guy in here. Hang on. This is not good. I got a podcast record later. No bueno. Hang on, boys. Yeah, Kevin, I see that. Yeah, it's not just you. I got a smaller camera too. This is only a ZV-1. You piece of shit. I literally don't know what happened. Just died. I wonder if this cam link actually broke. That would not be good. The light's on. Let's try a different USB port, gentlemen. Disconnected. Connected. Okay, let's try one more thing, actually. What the actual F? Wow. That's super weird. All right. Well, I have no idea what's going on, but I mean, we can kind of go through some of these comments real quick and then wrap up. I do have to go anyway, so it's not like a huge deal, but this is very concerning because I have to fix this. Um, what can we look at here? We want to look at this little guy here real quick. Humor's website. Um, I don't even know where I was going with that. I was kind of like losing my thought. But yeah, for IT and stuff like that, definitely just you got to be out there. You got to create relationships however you can. Just be a normal human would be my main thought here. Um, yeah. Actually, let's go to like. There we go. There you go. You can still see my face. There you go. That is really concerning. I have no idea what's going on with that. Yeah, we're gonna have to fix that. All right, where are we at here, real quick? Some of these comments. Thank you. Um, in my mind, Wu finally started ramping up their blocks because Surecart came along and up their game. Yeah, I mean that would be fantastic. Again, it's driving the competition there and everything like that. Surecart base plan is free forever. Surecart will beat Wu at some point. It has too many advantages. Yeah, that's what happens. I mean, you can't get complacent. 100%. Have you done any videos on outsourcing? You have said in the past that you are not a designer. I'm absolutely not a designer. I'm not creative in that realm. I need to figure that out. I haven't done too much designing because, like recently when I switched to frames, I was like, okay, like when I switched to bricks and frames, I'm like, okay, I can kind of get behind this now. I just rely on Kevin and his team to like design, that type of thing. And then I can critique, obviously, like I'm not like a total, like, lack of like UI and UX. Like I know what feels good, what looks good, but it's hard for me to create it from blank canvas. So I've tried to leverage that a lot more. I'm literally exploring that kind of as we speak. So I'll make sure I document that. I feel directly attacked. I don't know what that was specifically about, Brendan, but sorry. Can I just say I'm glad I found bricks. It's so nice to easily recreate any design I want. It is a very straightforward and very fundamental experience. Yes, we hear. Okay, thank God. This guy's spitting fire his camera. Yeah, just like Kevin, dude, just breaks. It's unbelievable. Was away from it coming back to this. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I'm gonna have to really fix that because that's gonna be pretty bad later if I don't have that. Best thing about bricks, the community came along with it, 100%. It's a good time to have an intermission ad break. Yeah, I wish I had some paid sponsors. If anybody's out there listening and you wanted to throw the sponsorship reel in when the camera breaks, 100%. And you were making fun of my 2970. Bro, I've had this camera for a few years now, and this cam link, I'm hoping it's the cable. I'm really hoping it's the cable because this happened before, and I got a new cable. I'm gonna have to try it now. Yep, overheated. Oh well. It didn't overheat. No, the camera's still on. It's just the cam link is not connect. Like it's connected, but it's not connected. I don't know. You said don't be the guy who tries every tool and does none of it well. I felt that. Did I say it specifically like that? Brendan, you try every tool and you're good at every tool. I don't know what to tell you, dog. I mean, you're a master of all. I am not because I don't try any of the crazy shit because I think about what I'm doing here. I'm trying to fix this camera one more time, but I don't think it's gonna work. So yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm pretty pissed off about this camera, so I got to fix this because I have a call at 1, and then I have some other stuff too. So, blow in the cartridge. That's an idea. And the actual cam link cartridge. Let me see it. Or was that like a? It worked in the 90s. This guy. That's unbelievable. I've never had that happen. It might have blown up. All right, give me 2 seconds. Right. You guys are watching me diagnose this live. Where did that damn cable go then? Oh, man. Oh, is that it? All right, I found the cable. This is fun, right? We're having fun. Oh, I did play Nintendo. Hey, fun fact, you can actually play all of those games on an emulator online now. Oh man, what's it called? Oh man, I just played some Double Play Season 2. That was my jam back in the day. I mean, I was kind of like the secondhand Nintendo guy. I got it from like my uncle or something, but I was not. I was born in '96, so it was a little. I don't know if it was late, but okay. Let's see. Fingers crossed. It was a cable, boys. Hang on. Let's see. This would be so cool if this thing is not fried. Oh dear. Is it fried? It also might be the case that this is kind of just I might literally have to run out to the store to see if I can buy this. Yeah, I have no idea what's going on. The whole thing's broken. The light's on the cam link, but I don't know. All right, well, I got to go deal with that, guys. I really appreciate every single one of you being here. This has been fantastic. Use all the tools while I get stuck trying to use something new. Yeah, 100%. Kevin's too young for that. These damn kids. Yeah, bunch of young stunners coming up here. Your camera and my Notion blew up at the same time. Uninstalling, reinstalling. Yeah, I'm gonna have to try to like uninstall and reinstall the cam link, which doesn't install or uninstall. So I don't know what the hell's going on. All right, boys. Hey, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. This has been fantastic. Appreciate all you guys, commenting and everything like that. Really good thoughts. Hopefully you got something out of this. If you did, leave a like on the stream. Tell your friends. Let me know what you want to hear about in the future and all that jazz. But I will be back here every Thursday, 11 a.m. Eastern. And thank you guys so much. As always, can't tell you how much I appreciate this. So I will. What's the new podcast? Are we talking about the one that I'm going to be on? I'll drop it. I'll tell you. I'm going to be on. If I fix this camera in an hour and a half, I'm supposed to record with Josh Hall. So I'm excited about that, but not excited that I need to deal with this now. So we will see. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I will talk to you.